Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, we got another episode of your NHL 22 franchise mode here with the Edmonton Oilers as we're walking into a pretty big episode here as we're looking to simulate the rest of the 2021-22 season, as right now we're at the Olympic break, about to head into the trade deadline and all that. But before we get into that, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. That'll be very much appreciated, boys. So let's get into this puppy here with the Edmonton Oilers. As you guys all know, in the last one, we made a huge trade, of course, going after UC Saros, who is now our permanent starting goalie. He's going to be the actual guy that is going to, bring some stability to that, that goalie group, which he has. UC Saros and Mike Smith have been a great tandem throughout, midway part of the season, and is looking really good. So honestly, for me, it is really exciting to see that we're getting some really good goaltending out of Mike Smith, who hasn't been playing too bad, throwing up a 911 this year and 257. And then you head over to UC Saros, which his first 7 games, he was looking pretty good, a 922 save percentage, and he's starting to get a little bit better. But I know the biggest thing that we right now got to improve is our special teams. Not even really, just one thing, and that's our power play unit. The power play unit, I gotta say, is probably about the weakest it's been all year. Evan Bouchard's really not, producing a whole lot on the power play, which I think we're going to be taking him off of that power play because he just has not done anything at all since being put on the power play. I think we're going to throw Darnell Nurse on that second unit instead, just to try to get something else going, because Bouchard hasn't been able to produce on the power play. But also, I was also fiddling around. Someone said to throw Draisaitl up on the as the center in the second episode, so we're going to be doing that in today's episode, throwing Draisaitl as our our centerman for that power play unit instead of McDavid, just because of the fact that Draisaitl is a better faceoff guy, so maybe that will better help this team go forward. And I was also thinking about maybe picking up another playmaker, another depth playmaker to play on the fourth line to maybe play on the power play, which wouldn't be a bad idea. And also Dylan Holloway is almost ready to, jump up into the main roster. He's been popping off down there in the AHL with 25 goals in 49 games. He's just been an absolute just wrecking crew down there in the AHL, which is really, really exciting to see. I cannot wait to see him jump up in the main line up here for the Edmonton Oilers, but I don't think we're going to be playing him this year. I kind of want to, keep him down there in the AHL this year and see how well he does. But I did want to also fire one of our assistant coaches, just because we need a better power play coach. We really do. And Jose Hamhuis really doesn't bring a whole lot to the team. Like, you look at it, the only things he's really good at is teaching, but we really don't need that right now. We got, yes, some young guys, but, that's what we got the head coach for. The head coach can, definitely fix that for us if needed. But for right now, we're going to go after some associate coach that will be able to be really good on the power play. That is something that we definitely need. Maybe an A+. That's what I'm kind of looking for. A's across the board. There we go. That is the guy that I want. A's across the board. So at least we, keep the penalty kill in shape. And we also have a guy that we can rely on the power play as well. So that is the goal there, to hire a new associate coach and move forward with that. So let's continue on the simulation here as we're in the All-Star break, or not even the All-Star break, the Olympic break there. So there we go. So hopefully our power play will be able to perform a little bit better with the new guy there. Hopefully we'll have to see how well, the rest of the season goes here. We're going to keep it about the same, and we all know that the power play percentage is at 10% right now, so we're hoping to see that go up by a little bit, hopefully. That's the biggest goal right now, just to hopefully see it grow up here a little bit, and to see that, power play improve, because that's the biggest thing. I mean, this is the first year that I've seen the Oilers power play struggle in, years. It's been a while since, that power play has been that low. I don't even think it's been that low ever. This is a pretty poor season for our power play. It just has not been producing to the way that, we've been wanting it to produce, which, is definitely a bummer. But it is what it is. So, ready from Olympic break, we're going to be going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I cannot wait for the Olympics, oh my God, Olympic this year. Can't even say the proper word. I'm having a brain fart. But I cannot wait to see Team Canada and Connor McDavid play for Team Canada, and a sore hip already for Darnell Nurse as he falls to an injury. Jordan Kyrou, hang on here a quick second. Is he a playmaker? Right winger, medium top 6, playmaker. Oh, man. He's a second liner, though. Oh, we can't pick him up. We can't pick him up. No. Dude, I was totally going to call up Jordan Kyrou, but we legit can't. Puljujarvi's a second liner, right? No, Puljujarvi's a third liner. But that means we would have to play him in the third line. That is a tough decision that we make here. Do we downgrade Puljujarvi? Do we stack up the lines this year to pick up a guy? That's the problem. Kyrou's not, you know, a guy that we could just pick up for 1 year. We can't. You know, he's going to be a guy that we're going to have to run with. Yeah. I would love to. I would really love to, but we're going to have to decline on that just because we're going to have Dylan Holloway take a spot up on that main roster here sooner or later. And then you also have Jesse Puljujarvi up there. We just, you know, we can't take away a spot from one of those guys. So 3-2 win there against the Tampa Bay Lightning. A big win against the Carolina Hurricanes. Cuckoo is injured there. We'll replace him with Chris Russell. Darnell Nurse also back in the lineup now, so that's good to see. Did he take over a Cuckoo spot? Yes, he did. Also, I cannot wait to get a new console because I can feel the slugginess always in this game now more than ever. More than ever. So there we go. Nurse is back in the lineup. And then Chris Russell down here with Evan Bouchard. Bouchard is improving though, so maybe he just needed to be taken off that power play a little bit. How well is Darnell Nurse doing up on that power play? Still 0 points for Darnell Nurse up on that power play, but he hasn't really gotten a lot of games anyways. Tyson Barrie getting a few, so hopefully he could assist that power play and get it juiced back up again. That would be nice to see. We'd really like to see that power play start getting, you know, getting back up and producing again. So first 5 games in, I don't think we're going to see very much of improvement, but I did remember I did take down that we had 15 power play goals and 150. So we'll take a look at, you know, how many power plays we had. So we had another, I don't even know what to do now. There's seriously nothing that's fixing up this damn power play, dude. Really isn't. There's not very much that we could do. I think we're just going to have to deal with it. It's just been that bad of a power play this year. This is a really, really bad power play. No idea why. How's UC Saros still doing with the team? 9-17. Yeah, he's still copping a pretty good record. Not bad. Mike Smith. We'll throw him in the net now. He could play the next few games here. Hopefully he can give us some more dubs. Chicago and Montreal. Hyman falls down to an injury as well, but we lose to the Chicago Blackhawks. We do get a point out of it, so that's the, you know, the positive out of it. We did get a dub. We don't have a lot of back-to-backs, so that's good to see. So we could play Mike Smith probably up until the Detroit game. Unless he loses a few. Unless he loses the next 2 against Montreal and Washington. But we win against Montreal. So he should be good to stay in the lineup. But we're having a decent lead. But not the biggest lead ahead of the LA Kings there. So I would like to see us win, you know, a few more games. I would not mind that at all. Devin Shore, take you off the top line there. Zach Hyman, get you back in the lineup. I just don't know why we're not seeing, you know, a lot of power play points from McDavid this year. Only 10 on the season so far. Puljujarvi, 6. Maybe that power play is going a little bit. We're starting to maybe see it a little bit more juiced. But, you know, not really. So it kind of concerns me on that. Why we're not seeing it get super, super juiced. But I don't know. I don't even know what to do with it. Like, maybe I was thinking, oh yeah, hell, we'd even edit the format power play. But though, Darnell Nurse up on here. I know Darnell Nurse hasn't done a whole lot. Yeah, nothing yet on him. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. So we'll continue on the simulation here. Smith will get the next few games. Lost there against the Washington Capitals and then against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And another loss there by Mike Smith, 5-0. No offense at all in any of those games. My lord, boys. We got our asses smacked, man. What was that? What was that kind of display, bro? Also, one thing I did want to check is Duncan Keith. Is he top 4? He is top 4, eh? But Duncan Keith has been kind of popping off offensively, man. He's almost a point per game defensively. Playing 20 minutes a game. I mean, he's not looking terrible. not looking terrible for our team this year. He's not having too bad of a sim at all. Mike Smith kind of struggling over the past few games. So I think we just allow UC Saros to take a little bit of the reins here because we've been struggling in the last few. And we have a three-way tie here with the Kings and the Canucks. So we need to start getting back in that W column here and start winning some games. A game against the Detroit Red Wings we lose. We got to get that power play going, man. I'm not really liking the way that it's been struggling, you know, off the get-go to start the season off. So we definitely need to get it going. And I think, I don't know what we're going to really add, but I don't know, man. This team is kind of confusing me on why we're not getting a good power play and why we just cannot fix it no matter what the changes we do to it. We even fired a coach and brought a new guy in. Even our 5-on-5 has been struggling a little bit more than usual. We were playing really good defensively this year. That's the thing that's surprising. Yeah, only 2 power play goals over that past month there. That is bad. But our PK and our defensive play is so good. Maybe it's our coach that's hemming us into a defensive style of a game. And that's why we're not producing a whole lot of goals. Is because we're maybe playing more of a defensive game because of our defensive coach. But it's just crazy how much we're not. You know, even the depth is not doing crazy good over the past few games. Defensively, Keith, Barry, Nurse haven't been too bad. Bouchard's not playing too bad. CC up there. Smith and Saros. Saros has been kind of the last few games. Both of the goalies have. We've been kind of getting piped the last few games. So let's see what we could do in the trade deadline. There's not a whole lot, but I'm willing to trade my first round pick, right? This is a big year for us. So, you know, we kind of do need some prospects. We're also in the moment where we got to start, you know, winning some cups as well for this team. So, this is where kind of the journey starts for us. So available Tuukka Rask, Spinajad is available. I think what we're just going to need is some depth, guys. We don't need anybody too serious. Ryan Strome will be a second liner. Just some depth players. Some depth playmakers. Johnny Gaudreau will be a top guy. Wouldn't mind him, but once again, it would just not fit for the team. Sandin would be actually really, really nice. Young defenseman, two-way guy. But we really we do need a defenseman. That is the funny thing too. We would need actually a nice young defenseman to keep on the pipeline of coming, because we only have Duncan Keith there right now, and I mean, he's not too bad for right now, but later on we might need to, you know, expand on that. So Rasmus Sandin. Well, like what? I know Toronto, you're kind of on a selling point here, but Sandin is not bad defensively. He does fit down the bottom 3 there. Might not be a bad pickup for us. He's high top 4. Yeah, high top 4. He would be able to jump past Keith. I'm guessing Keith will decline, you know, after this past season. I'm guessing. I mean, we'd have to have a lot of luck go into it because he isn't stuck on a no trade clause, and I don't know if we really want to take that, you know, big of a gamble, because we could trade away Broberg in the deal, right? You trade away Broberg, and yeah, I guess it would have to be a first round pick, but they don't want really Broberg. I don't want any of his salary cap retained anyways. What in the hell is wrong with the cap? Okay, there we go. So, I mean, that would work, and then we just dump him off another first-round pick here. Right, that could work. I mean, that would be, of course, way too much on our hand, but who else did they want to trade away? Kasha, Littlegren, they also want to trade away as well. Jason Spencer, is he a playmaker? Ooh, he is a playmaker. That actually might entice me. You get Jason Spencer and Rasmus Sandin. We get 2 of the players that we do need. We can get back a 3rd and a 4th for next year. That actually works. So we send off, you know, Broberg and a first-round pick, which replaces Rasmus Sandin for them. And we bring in Rasmus Sandin, who is a defenseman that can fill in a spot now. He can play in that top 6, you know, gives us a guy. We can give him back a roster player in Slater and Chris Russell, actually. We can give them Chris Russell. I wouldn't mind doing that. wherever Chris Russell is. Yeah, so give him Chris Russell as a roster player back. We could play Cuckoo as our depth. Pick up a third and a fourth, and Jason Spencer, because we need a playmaker to play on the power play, because I think I'm going to change up the power play a little bit. So, yeah, let's do this. Will that go through? And yes, it will. With the Toronto Maple Leafs, we are making some big, hot, juicy moves to start this franchise mode off. We pick up Rasmus Sandin and also UC Saros. There's been some just crazy players that we already picked up in the first year here with the Edmonton Oilers, and I think that's, you know, the game plan. I really don't need to make any other moves. I'm good with just picking up Jason Spencer and Rasmus Sandin, because that's all I really needed to do. Plus, we traded, you know, Broberg and a first-round pick away, so I really don't want to do too much else. And we bolstered up on some picks next year, so that I think will help us a lot too. And Erik Carlson heading off to Buffalo. No way, dude. No way did the Buffalo Sabres just picked up the worst contract in the NHL in Erik Carlson. And Nashville filling up on a ton of picks there from Pittsburgh, as Pittsburgh kind of bolsters up their team a little bit. So, not bad. We'll take a look at the other trades around the league right after this. We just want to kind of do some things here and fix up what we need to fix up. So, Rasmus Sandin, he'll be playing here now. He'll be playing alongside of Evan Bouchard. We could play CC down here, but I don't want to play two right-handers alongside of each other, so Rasmus Sandin will play there. We'll probably have to dump Keith off to some other team. I don't know if that will be the case, but probably. And then I'm going to go with, yes, I think I'm going to go with a kind of a combination of this, I think. And then this line has been struggling a bit. I'm kind of thinking of just calling up Dylan Holloway, man. I'm really contemplating on that, just to kind of give him that try to see, you know, just take the reins and go with it. You know, he's really popping off in the AHL. He's doing really good on the power play for them as well. But it might just be our coach who's just the struggling point of our team, you know. And I want Nuge up on that top unit as well. And then we'll put him there. Pull Yarby over here. Instead of Bobby Ryan, we'll throw Jason Spencer here. And Jason Spencer will be the center. And I kind of like that. He could win faceoffs. He's a veteran guy. We bring him on in for a year. I really like the move. And then he could play alongside of Puljujärvi, Yamamoto, and Fogle. And then Nurse as well. So there is our power play. We made one little trade at the deadline, just picking up Rasmus Sandin. You know, just a little bit of a swap. But once again, you know, we made our big blockbuster trade picking up Saros. So I didn't really want to make, you know, too many big moves. So take a look around the league here. The Nashville Predators, of course, they trade away Matthias Ekholm for a first, second, and Poulin. Troy Stecher-Greibner goes to Chicago for a second and a third. Chris Driedger goes to Arizona for a second-round pick. Matt Nieto goes to Montreal for Caden Goulet in a third. First-round pick to Arizona for Ryan Dzingel, Demers, and Joel Larson. St. Louis trades away Braden Shen and Sanford to Columbus as they look to bolster up a little bit. New York Rangers get Kevin Fiala, very nice, and Minnesota gets Connor Brown. They're kind of stacking up there. San Jose gets a nice pick and Jack Quinn for Erik Carlson. That's a steal. Nick Leddy to Chicago for Nicholas Buden. So Chicago fills up their defensive core with even more crappier defensemen. And also Seattle sends off Giordano for first. Sillinger off to St. Louis for Perron and Kyrou. Hurdle off to Montreal. Mackenzie Weegar off to Columbus. Florida's, you know, trading away all their players. Adam Larson to Carolina. Oh, my Lord. Seattle was bolstering up on the picks. They have so many first-round picks heading into this upcoming draft. My Lord. Smart plan by Seattle, though. Why not? Why not bolster up for the draft? So we got a back-to-back here, and then I think we're just going to throw out Smith for the first game here. I think is the plan, and then continue riding with UC Saros over the next little bit here as, you know, we try to recover, hopefully, and start playing a little bit better. You know, we made a small little trade. I don't know if it's really going to, you know, help the team moving forward, but, you know, we'll see how well Jason Spencer does on our power play. And see how that goes for us. So I'm hoping it works. I really do hope it works for the team. And Jason Spence is kind of that fix on that power play. But oh, did I scratch Bobby Ryan? Oh, shoot, I did. Sorry, Bobby Ryan. Oh, yeah. That Jason Spence is really not liking that line. What is going on here? Oh my god, dude. I think we just need to get rid of the coach. To be completely honest with you, I think we just need a new coach. Maybe we play Derek Ryan on that depth right now. We just do Bobby Ryan, Spencer, and then Derek Ryan will play on the right wing there. I think that's what we'll have to do. Yeah, and then we could play Spencer there as well. Sure, that works for me. Well, we actually, no, we could play Yamamoto there. Oh, wait, shit, I didn't mean to sim. No. I didn't mean to play Smith on a back-to-back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Smitty. Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to accidentally sim it. We could throw Yamamoto here instead. I'd rather have Yamamoto be the playmaker there instead. Better option. But I think we're just going to maybe have to go after a new coach here too. And maybe just that coach is just not the fit for the team. Because this is a run and gun offensive team. It's definitely not a defensive team. And that's the way that we do have it set up. So I think we might need to hire a new coach. Because we're right now losing the reins on that top divisional spot. The Canucks are really running away with it. So we got to start getting back in that W column. And we're not, man. We are really not winning any games right now, bro. Come on. There we go. Big win there against the Calgary Flames. That was a big win that we needed. Arizona, this is another win that we need, and we get a huge one. LA Kings. We need to get a big win against the Kings. This is a divisional team that we're jockeying spots with. And we get another one. That's what I'm talking about, Sarles. Keep making those big saves, bud. Keep throwing up the points here, boys. 3-2 win against the St. Louis Blues. We're on a 4-game winning streak right now. That's what I like to see. Anaheim. We need another big win against Anaheim. And we get another one. Let's go. I'm just going to keep on simmering from this. McDavid's kind of popping off in the last few games. That's what I like to see here, boys. Right? That's what I want to see. Some W's in the columns, and that's what we're damn seeing right now, boys. Boys. Keep winning those games. And we lose against the LA Kings, but that's okay. We'll swap up goaltenders. We'll give Saros a bit of a break because he was popping off those last couple games. And, I mean, we stack up at the top line, and they look pretty damn good. I like to see that. So maybe we do go with that stacked line up at the top there and just continue riding with that for the next little bit. Also, quickly, I guess we do have to take a look at maybe some contract extensions as well before we continue on the simulation here as well. For Puljujarvi and Yamamoto, what we're really going to do with those guys. Because how much money do we got? We got 3 point... What? Yeah, we're going to have to play with our cap a little bit next year. I think we just leave it alone because we're not even really going to be able to offer any of these guys any deals really right now. We're not going to have the money to. And we got, the rest of the cap really eaten up on UC Sarles there as well because we picked him up. So we might have to dump off Duncan Keith. But even then, we might have to just make some, some moves because we need defense. And Sandin's a cheap option, but I think we have to also pay him as well. I didn't even switch Smitty yet. I was meaning to switch Smitty, but I totally forgot to. But do we have to offer Sandin a contract too? Ooh, we do. Jeez. We got some big money players that we're going to have to pay. How much is Sandin going to want? Can we get him to a nice cheap deal right now before we keep on going? Or unless he's going to want major bucks too, then we might have to just dump off CC too then. Sandin. Yeah, he wants big bucks too. Alright, so yeah, we got some big paydays coming up on 3 players in Puljujarvi, Yamamoto, and Sandin. So Puljujarvi, oh my god, man, it's going to be painful to pay all those guys, bro. It's going to be a really painful offseason, so might as well go for it this year. Try your hardest and try to go for it, and then, dump off some of the big ticketed players that we can maybe get rid of. Some good little roll there from Mike Smitty. That's what I like to see. Charles has also been playing good in the 22 games that he's already played with the Edmonton Oilers here since we picked him up during January there. He's been doing very, very well. So I like to see that going up against his old team there in Nashville. He loses against his old team. Not what I want to see, but that's okay. We'll rebound against the Vegas Golden Knights here. This is a big team. This is a big win that we need. And we take it. 5-4. That's huge. We didn't go to overtime either. That's huge. We stay at top of the division, and that's what I like to see. Is us stay up on top of that division. That's really what I want to see, is just us stay up at the top. So Smitty, get back in there, buddy. Get back in there. We're almost near the end of the season. We got last few games coming up here for the Edmonton Oilers. So the Vancouver Canucks, and we pull away with a big win, and we clinch a playoff spot, boys. That is what I'm talking about. We're back in the playoffs once again. Not like I was really that worried. I'm just, wanting to see some small improvements, like our power play to be a bit better, and just some other sides of the game, right? That's, my biggest concerns. But we did make it into the playoffs, and that's good to see. We'll make sure that Saros gets the last 2 games of the season, but Mike Smith absolutely popping off in the last few ones here. McDavid not looking too bad this year. Definitely one of his lower producing seasons this year between both McDavid and Draisaitl. Yeah, only like 60 points for Draisaitl right now? Yeah, Jesus. And it was mostly because of that power play. If the power play was actually running a bit better, they would have scored a lot more goals than what they did. But we played a more defensive style. And did that work for the team? It didn't work that bad. Like we're almost near, we're going to be passing a 100-point season here very, very soon if we do get a win. Unless we do lose both of these games, then we'll be stuck at 99. But we do get 101 points. So we actually had a pretty solid season this year. I am not complaining about that. And who will we be facing up against in the playoffs? Well, the Winnipeg Jets will be going up against in the playoffs. And it looks like a different tradition we got going on here in the playoffs. So it's going to be a back-to-back. Okay, so it's a little bit different than what we have seen in the past recent years with the playoffs. Is we're going to be seeing a back-to-back right off the get-go. So that'll be a little bit different. And we might have to play that, a little bit differently than what we usually do. So, I don't know. Tell me guys in the comment section below what we should do. I think we're just going to use one goalie like they did in real life. But I think if we have a tandem, why not swap it up, If it's not a bad idea and we have Mike Smith and UC Saros where we could, flip them, it might not be a bad idea for us. So, the Edmonton Oilers are up atop of the division here. Great stopping point there for the Edmonton Oilers. Decent in goals for. Definitely need to be a bit better. But our 5-on-5 play is really good. Our defense is absolutely amazing. We did improve the power play a little bit near the end there, so that's good to see. And our PK was alright. It dropped a couple points, but still 83.8%. Still pretty solid there for the Edmonton Oilers. And I wonder if maybe Bobby Ryan got put on the power play or something. I don't know. But let's take a look at the entire team. McDavid led the team in points with 74. Then Draisaitl, Nuge up there with 55. Hyman with 48. Not bad. Yamamoto with 47. Spencer up there with 44. He had 15 points for us. Wow. Spencer was insane. What a pickup, boys. Holy crow. Spencer popped off when he got picked up for the Edmonton Oilers and was doing great alongside of Fogle and Bobby Ryan. So that's great to see. And in the depth, not too bad. McLeod didn't really get too many points near the end there. Defensively, Barry played pretty well. Keith had a 43-point season. Insane. Nurse, CC, Bouchard with 15 points. Played really well with Rasmus Sandin in his 20 games, who also played really good alongside of Evan Bouchard. So that's really good to see. And in goaltending-wise, Smith did pretty good. 26 and 15. And Saros with a 9 and 16. Not a bad season for UC Saros. 14 and 10. With a 913 save percentage. Not too bad of a season for UC Saros with us. And I think he's going to be the starting goalie that we're going to be going with in the playoffs. I think that's the guy that we're going to definitely be going with, without a doubt. So, in the comment section below, tell me guys what you guys think we should do for the playoffs moving forward. How should we deal with these back-to-backs and stuff like that? Should we swap between UC Saros and, and Mike Smith? What should we do? Yeah, so before we end the video there, we're going to take a look at the Winnipeg Jets because we are going to be going back up against this team. We went up against them last year. They swept us, so we're looking for a little bit of sweet, sweet revenge, and I cannot believe I didn't notice that right off the get-go. The team that absolutely whooped our asses last year, we're going up against them this year. So we're looking for some revenge, man. We really are. We are looking for some damn revenge here against the Winnipeg Jets. And their top line is stacked here with Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, and Kyle Connor. Their second line, they got Pierre-Luc Dubois, Andrew Kopp, and Nikolai Ehlers as well. And then you got Lowry, Riley Nash, and Paul Stastny, Jansen Harkins. Jansen Harkins has an X Factor? Wow, okay. And then David Gustafson and Kristen Vesalainen as well. So a huge X Factor fourth line that I think we're going to have to be a little bit of intimidated about. But at the exact same time, they don't look fantastic either. So their top six is something to be scared about. Defensively, they got Morrissey and Pionk, Dylan DeMello, and Nate Schmidt, and then Brendan Dillon and Nathan Bellevue. So not a bad defensive goalie there for the Winnipeg Jets. And then Connor Hellebuck, he's going to be the big goalie that we're going to have to go up against here against the Winnipeg Jets, who looks like an absolute beast. So the last thing I do got to check is just the league leaders in the NHL, and then we'll end the video there. But let me guys know in the comment section below what we should do in this upcoming playoff round. What should be the backup plan? What should be the backup lines? Whatever it may be, tell me guys in the comment section below if you have any great ideas going towards this upcoming playoff run that we're hoping to have, as Jack Eichel led the league in points here with 100 points this season, and Nikita Kucherov following a pretty low point season. I don't know if we might need to just bump up the goal scoring in the game. Maybe that's something we need to do, but not a lot of goal scoring here in the first season in the NHL. The goals, Jack Eichel led the league in goals. He was a madman this year, without a doubt. Jack Eichel was a madman this year. Pietrangelo led the league in points, just with Callum McCarr following right behind him, and Brent Burns and Roman Josi. And in goaltending, Vasilevsky was one of the better goalies, but Hellebuck might actually bring home the Vezina, but Ben Bishop also had an amazing record as well. So there you guys are. And then we'll take a quick look at the standings as well. Why not? And they still haven't fixed this. But Dallas, Chicago, and Winnipeg, of course, all made it to the playoffs there in the Central. The Atlantic, Montreal, Tampa Bay, and Buffalo somehow made it into the playoffs. That's a miracle. And Toronto did not. And in that specific. And that is, where's the Metro? There we go. The Metropolitan, which has Philly, Columbus, Carolina, New York, and the Washington Capitals all making it to the playoffs. So for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next episode, as we'll be taking up, as I mess up my sentence, we'll be going right up against the Winnipeg Jets in the next round, in round 1. So make sure to tune in for that one. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.